Hello. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Monty from Monty's Magic. One of the biggest fears of an actor is getting on stage without their props. Well, today we're going to be talking about the prop table, which is one of the best ways to help you fix this problem and prevent from actually getting on stage without a prop. So let's get started. The prop table is a very simple table. It can be any table, any size or shape. The purpose of it, of course, is to organize the props, to keep them straight, and we'll talk a little bit about how you do that. The table sits backstage, and if it is set up properly, it helps the stage manager know if all the props are set on stage. It helps the crew know which props. And it also helps the actor because they can simply glance at the prop table before they go on stage. And that way they'll know whether their props are on stage or not. A well-designed prop table is marked off and has a position for each prop that the crew has to set on stage or do something with. You take spike tape. In this particular incident, I'm using blue spike tape. And if you don't know what spike tape is, it's just a very simple tape that they use in theater that lays down very easily. It does stick quite well, but it's easily picked up and removed when you no longer need it. It's used for all kinds of theaters, like marking places that the actors have to stand on stage, where you have to set and position tables, especially if you're moving them around and stuff. And we also use it for the prop table. So again, in this particular video, you can see I've used blue spike tape, and each prop on the table is assigned its own individual spot on the table. So you take and just draw squares, rectangles, whatever, by just simply laying the tape out on the table. Generally, I lay the props on the table first and then put the tape around them. That makes it easy to get the appropriate size. So then you take your black marker and label each individual square with the name of the prop that is supposed to be in that particular square. If you want, you can also add a little brief description of the prop. I do it by putting a piece of tape in the center of the square or rectangle that I drew for the prop, and just write on that a little quick note that says, things like when it has to go on stage, or if there's any special things that the crew has to do with the prop. Sometimes they even put a checklist on the prop by just putting spike tape in the center of the block, and that helps the crew make sure they get everything done. If you don't have a place on the prop table, but you end up with like extra squares or something like that, put a big X with the spike tape in the center of the rectangle, and in that way they'll know that nothing is supposed to be in this particular square. So again, every prop on the table has its own home in the prop table. That makes it very easy to just simply look at the table, and if something is left in the one of the squares, well, you know instantly, hey, that prop didn't get on stage. Or once you know they're all the props are empty, you know you're set and ready to go. It's also a good way of organizing the props at the end of the day to help you make sure that you have picked up all the props and done whatever you're supposed to do with them, clean them, rearrange them, reorder them, or whatever you may have to do. For example, breakable props, you may have to put them back together before you put them on the prop table. So that way you'll also know when you're done at the end and make sure you haven't gotten anything missed and ready for the next day. So anyway, you lay out individual squares for each individual prop and label them accordingly so that everything is well labeled. Then you just simply place all the props in the squares and you're all set and ready to go. I know this was a very short video today, but it's a very important part of theater and frequently overlooked. So thank you for watching. I hope you found it useful. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave me a message. Hit the like button. I'd love to hear your comments. Know what you've enjoyed, what you find useful. Did you like the video? Was it helpful? And what kind of videos would you like to see in the future? We're adding videos on a regular basis. So thank you again for watching.